Hey, I'm Emilia Quinn, and you're listening to Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody out there in internet world. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Hank's Corner. I am your host, Hank Jr. As always, I say I'm part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and now podcasting. And I'm always bringing you great music from the United States, but I always love when I get to go across the pond. Today, we're going to be talking with Emilia Quinn. Emilia, how are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. It's a brand new morning for me. I know it's afternoon for you over there.
Good.
And I'm broadcasting from Tampa Bay, Florida, in the United States. Where are you actually at?
I am just outside of Leeds in the north of England.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay. And for those who followed me for a while, know that it's been a while since I've been to England. When I say a while, it was actually 2008. And really, I only got to stop in for a couple days on the way to Ireland.
Oh,
So I
cool.
really need to get back to the UK,
Yeah.
specifically London. Every time around Christmas time, I kind of wish I was over there to experience it. But tell me about your area and tell me what's going on over there.
Well, I'm sort of more towards the north, so London's great at Christmas, by the way. That is like definitely a great time to visit because it's just beautiful. And then so I used to live down south, sort of close to London. Now I live up here, and it's kind of near like places like Manchester and Liverpool and things like that. Leeds is kind of like central to all like the northern cities, which makes it really easy to tour or to go out to gigs in the different cities. But it's super cold a lot of the time, which is kind of the drawback.
Yeah, and I moved down south mostly because my wife wanted to be down south. I don't mind a little cold every now and then, but
Yeah.
when it's already April, May time and it's still cold, that's not for me.
Yeah, no, I definitely prefer warmth.
And right now you got a song out called River. It is doing very well. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but I want to read a quote about the song that Silverball Country put out. It says, "River is perhaps more bluesy than perhaps we are used to, but it is so silky smooth with a slight whiskey hewn edge that it will reach deep inside and grab you." Do you agree with that?
I like that quote. I do. I think like in context, for anybody that's like new to me, which is probably quite a lot of people at this point, I've been a lot more sort of like country style in the past, maybe sort of edging into like alt country Americana type stuff, and this is like the first really kind of more bluesy one that I've put out, and that's the reason that I put it out as my first single for my upcoming album, just to make a bit of an impact and make a bit of a point that the style is going to shift and change a little bit, and we're going a little bit darker almost than my last couple of records that were more kind of ballady.
Yeah, and you've been keeping it a secret for a while, but you finally just came out and said that Wonderlust Breaking Rules is the new album
Yeah.
that's going to be coming out. When can we expect that? And obviously, River's going to be on it, but when can we expect the whole album to come out?
So the whole album is due for release in November. The date, the exact date is pending right now. But yeah, it will definitely be in November, and there's a few singles to come before it as well. So there'll be a taste of what the track list will be.
Okay. And as far as the success of River, were you surprised or were you hoping that this was going to happen?
I was hoping that it was gonna, be enjoyed, particularly by my current and my previous fans and things. Obviously, they've joined me throughout various parts of my career, and they've sort of watched it evolve. And I was really hoping that this wouldn't be too different to the point that they kind of went off it, but they've really, really embraced it, and it's been a wonderful response. So I'm really glad it's gone the way it has, and there's plenty more to come.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and play River here on Hank's Corner.
Bring me to the river, let it wash the pain. Let me feel the power of muddy water in my veins. Feed me to the fire, burn me down in flames. I'll rise from the ashes, reborn again. my soul.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Emilia Quinn from the UK. And you just heard her recent song come out, River, which is going to be on the upcoming album, Wanderlust and Breaking Rules, out this November. So be looking for that. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about specifically with the song, as you can see behind me, and I mentioned that I do photography. Tell me about the photography for you, specifically River, and who does your photography, because I'm always willing to promote them.
Yeah, so actually my photographer for pretty much all of my releases and like content that I put out there is my future wife. So we make a really good team. But she goes under her sort of company name is Tamography Media. Her name is Tammy. And we just absolutely love doing creative shoots like the river shoot. We really get sort of vibe off of each other and bounce ideas around. And when I sort of said, "Oh, I think we need to be like by water, by river," so I've got a bit of like I've had an idea to kind of have my face near it. And she was like, on the shoot day, she went, "Right, you're gonna need to submerge yourself. Wait until I tell you to come back up." And I was like, "Okay." If you want to get rid of me, don't like maybe just don't drown me. Just like, but no,
How long did she keep you under there? That's the
um,
question.
she was relatively nice. It wasn't too
Okay.
long, but it was really really cold. It was like it even though it was the hottest day of the year last year that we shot it. It was still really the water was still really cold. It was up in like it's called the Yorkshire Dales, and it's where you kind of go up into not quite mountain, well, almost mountains, but not quite. And it's in this like natural swimming hole that called Cauldron Falls, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But it was so cold, and she was like, "Right, we're gonna have." We did it 3 times, I think, and she was like, "Wait until I tell you to come back up." But it wasn't too long. It felt like a long time, but it wasn't too long.
Yeah, when it gets cold, it could feel like a long time for
Ooh.
sure. And it does look like a gorgeous place. Obviously we don't get to see as much as what you get to see over there, but it looked really cool, and I like the way that came out.
No, me too. And I always have a vision going into it, and I like pitch my vision to her. She was like, "Okay, let's make it happen." And then she just brings something so much better than what I even thought it was going to be like. Every time she just surprised me at how much better that it all turns out. So yeah, she's
Yeah,
great.
and you said that makes a great team, and one of the reasons, besides having a person nearby to do it, but I'm sure that you're getting it for free. And for those that are, trying to, get started and everything, anytime you can take advantage of anything free, you're going to do it, right?
Well, yeah, it's not quite free. I don't think we exchange services. I give her a lift, and and help out where I can, like with her business, things like that too. So we try and share it out a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I like to do. I mean, I have a full-time job that's, not into any of the stuff here, and the photography and everything else is, I don't wanna say a hobby, but, 'cause it's more intense than that, but, I do a lot of free photography for
Mhm.
photographers, you see on the back, and I always get kinda messed up on which way I'm turning here, but down over here in this corner is, a little connection to you is, Audra McLaughlin. She was on my, 50th episode, and the connection is you guys got the same manager, correct?
Yeah, I love Audra. I miss her. I haven't seen her since like I think it was June last year.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
been a while since she's been over there now.
It's been a little while, but I'm glad to be. I'm going heading over to the States in July for my honeymoon, so we're going to meet up with her then. But she's absolutely fantastic, and you're right. We're under the same management with Imagined, run by Donna.
And I haven't had actually a chance to really talk with Donna, but I've heard nothing but good things about her, and I agree that that's what you're going to say as well. That she is just a great promoter, a great person, and hopefully I'll get the chance to be able to talk with her.
She's definitely worth talking with. She is incredible at what she does, and like the amount of passion that she's got, for her artists and for the music they create. It's to me like I hesitated on getting a manager for the longest time, and I was like, I'm not going to do it until I definitely find someone who is on my wavelength, they're as passionate about my music as I am. And it just happened that I came across Donna during like an EP campaign, and she helped me out with the PR for that. And the passion that I saw in her for not just she was doing with her work, but also just the music that I was creating. Like I can send her demos, and she sends me like a paragraph back of like why this word is great, and it's just amazing. She is absolutely incredible and so driven. So it's great to have her in our corner.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I do this here on the podcast because obviously you're front and center. The musicians, especially if you're the lead singer, get a lot of the attention. But you and I both know that a lot of it comes from our support system that's out there,
Oh yeah,
and that's whether the photographer, your manager, publicist, all those things that go into there, and it's always great to give them kudos on the show.
absolutely. Like this, it wouldn't happen, especially to this degree, without them. It's such when you're an independent artist, you're doing like so many different jobs in one. It's so hard to keep on top of. So I am hugely grateful to have her and Pete as well at the W21 Records label, helping me out and having my back.
Yeah, we love to have that support. And you mentioned coming to the United States. So, are
Yeah.
you by chance going to play any, or is it just going to be all fun?
Well, there's nothing official. We're definitely treating it as a holiday and meeting up with friends and things like that. But I'm definitely going to scout out future venues and places like that I might want to go play on another trip. So any recommendations are welcome.
Well, I always invite people to come down to Florida. I know we're about a 10-hour drive from Nashville, so it may be better to fly, but definitely a lot of people love coming down here during the winter time, a lot of beachy feel, and you get to stay warm during the winter, so you're always welcome here. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and play Ready Right Now.
I feel lighter now, tossed away. Who I used to be in my old face, I feel warmer now. I'm on my own. I'm an angel who's sold it for love. I'm no one to take the beating path. Where I'm going, there's no coming back. I found my own way through the flames that didn't come here to participate. I'm ready right now. I'm ready to find out. I'm ready to fight now. I'm a soldier to my own heart. Been through the battlefields and earned my scars. I'm a fool to wear it on my sleeve. That's just how my home raised me to be. I'm the one to take the beaten path. Where I'm going, there's no coming back. I found my own way through the flames that didn't come here to participate. I'm ready right now. I'm ready to find out. I'm ready to fight now. I'm the one to take the beaten path. Where I'm going, there's no coming back. I found my own way through the flames that didn't come here to participate. I'm ready right now. I'm ready to find out. I'm ready to fight now. I'm ready right now. I'm ready to find out. I'm ready to fight now.
And we're back with Emilia Quinn here on Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. Now, I want to know a little bit about how you got started. I mean, I take me back to the day where you're about 5 years old and you're playing your first recital there on the piano. Was that when you knew that you wanted to do music? Was it before then, or did it take a while for you to realize that, hey, this is what I want to do?
Oh my gosh. I think I always knew that I really enjoyed music, and like you said, I started at a really young age playing piano, and I was actually, because I was learning in school, I was classically trained on the piano. Not that I remember any of that anymore. It's definitely gone out the window. But I knew that I liked it, and it was like my parents would. I'm really lucky with my parents that they've always given me opportunities to try things. They always, wanted me to find out what I enjoyed doing, and sort of gave me those opportunities to do that, funded the lessons, all that kind of stuff. And there was a lot of hobbies that I went through that I did not stick to, but music has always been something I stuck to. And I think it was around age maybe age like 11, 12 when I wrote my own first song. I'd been singing for a little bit before that, but I wrote my first song at the age of 11. And I think that's when I started thinking, ooh, maybe music is a career that I could go into. I wasn't sure what, but I knew that like music was something that I was going to try and stick with for as long as possible. And then as I went into like college or like university and things like that, I did music tech in my A levels, and then went on to university to music production. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be a producer. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to live in the studio. I'll just write songs on the side and do that. But I had a band when I was in university, and then performance came more of a thing. And I was like, actually, I really enjoy this, and I really enjoyed the business aspect of music as well, which took me on to do a music business master's degree. And I was learning, I just wanted information. I wanted knowledge. I wanted information on how to be able to not necessarily run anybody else's career by this point. I think I was sort of building my own career at this point around, I guess I was like 18 to 20. And I was kind of thinking, yeah, maybe I should try this. And I was getting all the knowledge to run my own show. Because like I said, it took me ages to sort of think, okay, I need a manager and things like that. I was very, very much wanting to have control of my own career and be able to do it for myself first. And I think that's like that really helped me in choosing a manager as well, and knowing what I wanted and what I would expect for someone else to join a team as well. But I think the sort of definite decision of like, okay, I'm going to go for it was probably around like 20. And I thought, if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it now, and I'm really going to try. And if being an artist doesn't work out, I think I still am going to end up working in the industry in some capacity. But we'll see. Hopefully the artist thing works out. It'll be quite nice.
Yeah, I think it's going to work out for you just fine. But it's always great to have that backup plan. I mean, I talked to another artist, I believe it was Molly Lovett, a while back, and her thing was her mother said, "Look, you know what? I'm taking everything away from you. You're going to jump into this, and that way, it's going to be a sink or swim." And sometimes that works too, because it kind of forces you to have to do something if you don't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
But me, on the other hand, I rather go the other route that you did and just have a backup plan just in case. And that's great to do that, because like you said, that can help you with your career, knowing the different aspects of it. We know how Taylor Swift works, and how she manages everything and how successful she is because of that. But so you write your own songs as well. When did you start songwriting?
I mean, I wrote my very, very first song when I was 11, and I was like, I don't even think I'd started playing guitar by that point yet. I was very much on the keyboard with like the little backing track that you press a button and it starts and you play the chords over it. And it wasn't even like a process of I sat down and I thought, I'm going to try writing a song. I like music. I'm going to try writing a song. I didn't do any of that. I just kind of went, ooh, I have an idea. And it just happened. And I was like, okay, this is strange, but we'll roll with it. And I just kind of let it happen since then. And obviously since then I've kind of like refined my writing. I've kind of taken on board other songwriters like styles, and sort of looked and listened more carefully to music that I enjoyed as well, to see how they were writing. But yeah, it was kind of it just happened moment. And that's when I write my best songs as well, I find, or the ones that I like the most, is when I just let it happen and I let it flow.
Okay. And so, you kind of alluded to it, but you can kind of see the progression from when you went from Firecracker to Medicaid, and now with your most recent release, The River. Is that always intentional, or is that just you growing?
I think it's a bit of both. I think I try not to compete with other people or other artists, because I think everybody is definitely on their own path. I'm very much a believer of like, if it's for you, it will happen for you, as long as you put the work in. But don't, nobody else's opportunities are taken away from me, just like my opportunities aren't taken away from anybody else. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen, as long as you put the work behind that. That's kind of the little twist there, where a lot of people are like, oh, well, it will happen. If you work for it, it will, yes.
Yes, I've always heard that too, Zita. You got to be working and ready to go, so that when you do have that lucky moment, you're ready. Because if you have that lucky moment and you're not prepared, then it's just going to pass you by.
Exactly, completely. And like, I think rather than pit myself against other artists, because pretty much all my friends are other musicians and other artists, I don't want to be in competition with them. I want to be friends with them, and that's it. but I want to be in competition with my past self and what I've done previously, and I want to be able to top my own, my own music and my own creations. So I think the progression is a combination of saying, okay, right, the next thing needs to be better, it needs to be bigger, it needs to be, higher quality, as well as just growing up, growing as a person, and life experience.
Yeah, well, it's always great to kind of look back and see how somebody progresses. I mean, I think you're doing well, and if you're going at this rate, you're going to be even more great by the next time everything comes out. But I want to go back to Medicate, and I'm going to go ahead and play one of my favorite songs from there called "Worse Than Whiskey." And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more.
Thank you.
To back after another pointless commotion. It's so hard to break through to your emotions. Leave a light on in case you wanna come. Won't you jump in and join me in the unknown? Your bittersweet kisses burning my throat, worse than whiskey. Like a faded old sweater, I'm calling you safe. But today you are threadbare and yelling for space. Your conditional kisses burning my worse than whiskey. The sun sets on another new face. Maybe this one will learn to love my embrace. Your double-edged kisses burning my throat, worse than whiskey.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., part of Hank Jr. Productions, and I'm talking with Emilia Quinn from the UK. What a great artist. She's got a great song called River that just came out. If you haven't listened to it, wherever you've been, go check it out. But we just played Worse Than Whiskey, and I love that song. And the reason why I love that song is because I'm a kind of a sucker for 90s country music, and I love the way that when it starts, it's got that steel guitar, and it kind of just takes me back to that, nostalgic time of country music. Now, off break, you said a lot of people like it. What are some of the reasons why other people like it?
It's just the most like requested song. So if I shout out, on live streams, particularly during lockdown and things like that, when I was saying, what song do you want to hear, and it wasn't even out yet, it would be, oh, where's the whiskey? And I think it's just probably the one that most people connect with. And again, it's just so, when it comes in, that sound is just so full and so lush and really nice. And it's, I didn't have any sort of part in writing the instrumentation on there. I'm kind of very much see what you feel when I get session musicians in. I'm like, see what you think would fit. If I don't like it, I'll give directions. If I like it, then I'll say, right, keep that, do that again. Because I think like everybody has their own influences as well, and it makes a really interesting mix. And all of this was done remotely because it was done in lockdown. We couldn't get in the studio together. And so I sent it off to the lap steel player. He's called Stephen Hicken Jr. And he sent this back and he said, I did a couple takes because I wasn't sure what you'd want, but here's the first one. And I listened and I just cried. I was like, this is just incredible. It's so much better than I imagined it would be. And I think I think that's why it's just so complete, and I think it's really satisfying. I think that's why it's probably the most popular one on the record.
And that's interesting for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, everybody has a different reason why they may like a song. But isn't that very, pretty cool that with even during lockdown, that we can find ways to get around that and come up with something as good as that song that, you would never have guessed that that's how it happened.
Yeah, I was very much, when lockdown hit, I was like, oh my God. At the time, I was planning a tour, my first tour that I was going to go out on as a co-headline. And I had loads of stuff in the works. I had 2 EPs, kind of in the works, which were Firecracker and Medicate. And I kind of thought, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Like, I can't just stop. I had a day job as well that I got furloughed from that. So I wasn't even able to carry on working. And I'm not good at sitting still. I'm really bad at it. I was like, how can I make this work? And fortunately, I'm in a really good position to know a lot of very good musicians and a lot of musicians who are very good at recording themselves as well. And being, having done audio production myself, I know I can record myself too. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to carry on with these records. And I think in total we did, I think it was 2 singles and 2 EPs. No, I lie. 4 singles and 2 EPs over those couple of years. Because I thought, no, I've got to carry on. I've got to keep moving forwards, and that's what we did.
Good for you to do that. And, that song, among some of the other songs that you have there, are on my playlist, the Guest of Hank Jr.'s playlist, which is getting very long now as I'm approaching my 100th episode. But you're definitely on that playlist. And, but tell me, who is currently on your playlist and who are some of your influences?
Oh my gosh, do you know what? This is a question I always dread because as soon
Uh-oh.
as I get asked it, I go blank and I'm like, what's music? I don't know. I'm very much like a put a playlist on shuffle, put like a mix, Spotify mixes. I go like, do I want, what kind of music do I want to listen to? I want to listen to blues or like Americana and things like that. And I'll put a mix on. And it's the best way to find new artists as well. I always find someone new and I think, oh my God, who is that? And I have to look. But at the moment, I'm listening to a lot of Larkin Poe, a lot of people like Els Bailey as well. She's another British artist in the blues scene. She's doing incredibly well. And people, and sort of more, also the countryside as well. So sort of people like Chris Stapleton. Although I say country, he's so versatile. And I think that's what I really admire about him, is that he's incredibly versatile. And the same as people who are a bit more mainstream, like Lady Gaga and Pink, they're ones to admire as well because of how versatile they can be. They kind of more throughout their career, they have that journey of growth and the journey of kind of changing genre but still making it work, and that's what I really admire, and I kind of aspire to be like that too.
Okay. And I'm going to flip it up a little bit, a little off the topic of music. I always love to talk about food on my podcast. And so, especially when it's from another country, I'm always curious what they're eating and what they like and what I should try when I'm over there. I mean, I know you like Lucky Charms, although you don't get it that often. Besides that, tell me a little bit about, your taste in food.
Oh my god. Well, I am a huge foodie. I love food. I'm half French, so I kind of have to like food. It's in my blood. And I love trying new things. My partner as well, she's a really good cook and she loves cooking new things too. So we're trying to do a thing where we do like at least once a month we have like a new culture, a new sort of nationality of dish and things. And I think we've done like things like, the classics like Mexican and stuff like that, but we've looked at, Polish food or Italian or, Belgian is one of them. We kind of cross over a few different things. But I just really like food. I think my favorite British food is the Sunday roast, and
Oh.
I never ate a proper Sunday roast until I met my partner. Because up north, it is the thing,
Mm.
and yeah,
And I
it's
don't know if it's, getting close to lunchtime for you and I'm making you hungry, but I haven't had my breakfast yet, and I'm starting to get a little hungry as well.
yeah.
Now, I know music takes up a lot of your time, and when you're not actually doing the music, you're thinking about it, you're writing songs. I mean, it's just constant. But when you're not doing all of that, tell me, what are you doing for fun?
Music. I mean, it's. I'm actually working on trying to have a little bit of time away from it because I find when you get too into it, you just kind of end up. You don't hear anything clearly, you don't see anything clearly. It's like it's really hard to keep sort of maintaining that workflow when you're just in it 24/7. So I'm trying to do stuff to like ground myself. I've taken up yoga again recently, like meditation and things like that. And I'm just kind of like looking for random things to do that I haven't done before. Like we just done like a little pottery date where we went and did like a little pot on the wheel. We learned how to do that, and I think we want to go like rock climbing and things like that. Just trying new things and getting out and about. I think that's my hobby. Trying new stuff is my hobby.
Yeah, I like that idea, and even at my age, I'm still trying to get the time to try new stuff. And the closer I get to the end of my life, it's like I want to do it more and more. So if you could do it while you're young, by all means, do that. Now, I know that you are playing. You said that that's busy, and one of the big things that you got coming up with this one over here, Karen Waldrup. There's The Country on the Clyde coming out March 11th and 12th. Tell me a little bit about that.
I'm super excited for Country on the Clyde. It's kind of like a sister event to Country, which LBC is this massive festival that takes place in 3 different cities in the UK, and it kind of acts as like an afternoon event for the Glasgow one. I played it for the first time in 2019, and I was part of the writers round. I was brand new. I hadn't even released an EP yet. I was like, nobody knew who I was. I was just like, hello, here's me. Um, and now I'm going back. I'm taking my band up to Scotland for the first time as well for
Mhm.
this. And I'm closing out this Saturday, which is just a little bit insane in my mind. It's kind of like, what? But I'm super, super excited for it. And it's such a great event. I mean, the Glasgow crowd are always amazing. They always make for great shows. So to go and play with my band is just, I'm really, really excited for it. Can't come soon enough.
Yeah, that sounds like a great lineup, and that's cool that you're going to be on it. Now, should somebody come to an Amelia Quinn show, what should they expect?
um, oh God, that's actually, I've never been asked that question before. That's really hard. Um, I'm really bad at speaking in between songs, so probably a little bit of waffling, some really, really bad dad jokes, and just a lot of heartfelt music and dancing and singing along. I just love creating a vibe and for everybody to come away and thinking, wow, that was a really good show. Not like, oh, that was some good music. I really want people to feel like they've been to a show and they've been entertained.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that one of the songs that you play is Outlaw. It's probably
Yeah.
one of the more requested ones as well. I know I would like to see that. We're going to play that here at the end of the podcast. But everybody, please check out Emilia Quinn. You can find her on EmiliaQuinnMusic.com. She's on all the socials. She's on Patreon. Check her out. Her latest single is called River, and it's going to be on the upcoming album Wanderlust and Breaking Rules, which is coming out in November. But Amelia, like I said, you caught me by surprise when River came out, and I said, I'm not going to wait. I need to get her on my podcast now. So you are doing awesome. I appreciate you coming on the show. I hope that maybe I can see you when you come to the States, or if I ever make it back to your neck of the woods. But in the meantime, if you ever want to be a guest on Hank's Corner, you're more than welcome to.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed this.
Someone who's riding on a shining night can't handle me. I'm a top shelf, $60 shot of fireball whiskey. I ain't looking to mess around, I wanna dive in deep. So why don't you take a sip if you think you can handle me? Outlaw, outlaw, take me by the hand. Show me who's the baddest bitch in the land. Outlaw, outlaw, show me what you got. I want some of your fiery love. I'm a high-flying, low-riding son of a gun. I'm head on heels, I'm the real deal. And if you want my heart, I want your love. I want your love. Hey! I like to live my life wearing my heart on my sleeve. But don't think I won't bite back if you try to cross me. I ain't looking to be saved, I can stand on my own 2 feet. I just want a kindred soul can understand me. Yeah. Outlaw, outlaw, take me by the hand. Show me who's the baddest bitch in the land. Outlaw, outlaw, show me what you got. I want some of your fiery love. I'm a high-flying, low-riding son of a gun. I'm head on heels, I'm the real deal. And if you want my heart, I want your love. I want your love. Hey! Outlaw, outlaw, take me by the hand. Show me who's the baddest bitch in the land.